Okay. Good evening, Steve Landau and Julie Stark here from On Your Left Fitness and Timing. Thank you for being with us today for EmbRace Tucson, Embrace Your Inner Athlete. Today we are so fortunate to have Adam Dalton with us. Good afternoon, Al. Good afternoon, good evening. Adam, how you doing? I don't know, what time
Not
is
too
it?
bad. Good afternoon. I appreciate you having me on here.
Thank you. Uh, for all of you who don't know Adam or do know Adam, let me give you a little background on him today. Adam was a student at Grinnell College, and he won the Midwest Conference Championship titles in the 3,000 meter, indoor 3,000 meters, and indoor and outdoor 5,000, as well as the 10,000 outdoor. Adam qualified for the Olympic marathon trials at Grandma's Marathon in Utah with an amazing time of 2:18:52, running the back half in 1:10. Amazing. All done self-funded and self-coached, which is a lot to say in this day and age to be competitive. Adam came to Tucson from Utah to be a part of the International Dark Sky Association, which is an environmental nonprofit that aims to stop light pollution and protect the night skies. And he is the lead singer in a punk band. I like that. I like punk music. What's the name of that punk band, Adam?
It would be Bikini Shark because it's surf punk themed, so it's kind of has that kind of beachy element to it.
Nice. So, where do you play here locally in Tucson?
I've when I first moved here, I did, but then just in my build up to the trials, I was running such high mileage, and work was really. I mean, I'm running this program internationally, so between those things, and also trying to have somewhat a semblance of a social life and take care of my dog, shows kind of fell by the wayside. But now that the trials are over, I'm hoping to start playing shows here again.
Great. Well, I'll go out and see you. That's for sure. Love punk music. Um, so, Adam, we are very lucky to have you here in Tucson. You just competed at very highest level in the U.S. Marathon Trials. Congratulations on that. You did very well. Tell us about that experience. What did you learn about yourself? How was it competing at such a high level?
Oh, it was definitely a surreal experience. I mean, because I think going into the trials was something that I really didn't ever expect to do. And to be there with, the best runners in the US and arguably some of the best runners in the world was incredible. I mean, I was a huge fan of the sport growing up and even in college. So, I mean, these are some people who I've looked up to for a lot of my life. And, being in that same environment was something that I never thought was going to be possible. So it was I was kind of starstruck a lot, but at the same time, I also have a lot of friends who made the trials, so it was really great to interact with them. I had family and friends come from across the country. I had probably a cheering squad of 20, 25 plus people there. So it was, there's not too many moments in your life where you realize like, wow, I am an incredibly, blessed and lucky person. But I think that was one. And the race itself, while my time was definitely not the best, it was definitely a very surreal experience. And I think something that I'll always remember.
What did you learn about yourself from that
Oh
competition?
man. So I guess I learned that even when things are going tough, I'm not going to give up. I also, I think, learned that I really, this is something that I truly am passionate about. And I think I learned that, while at the end of the day, I didn't quite run as fast as I hoped to, I still can take a lot out of it from myself, knowing that I was competitive. I never gave up. I did my best. And I think that I, am much more proud doing that than I'm prouder finishing with a slow time than I would be, dropping out at mile 20 or 21 when things were hard and I was cramping. So,
Well, I read an article about you from the Grandma's Marathon, and I was happy to learn that you ran that without a watch.
yes.
And I just think that's so cool because that says to me you're really tapped into your body and what you can do and what your pace is. And it's interesting to me because don't hold this against me, your Kenny Powers quote, I do real sports. I'm a triathlete. And I did one of my fastest half marathon times was when my Garmin died on me during the bike, and I had to do it all by feel. And I think we forget how much we do know about our bodies. So for you, you had already kind of, it sounds like played around and experienced that, but I'm just wondering what else did you learn about yourself while competing or preparing at this level?
I think something else that I learned is that, I think it was something that I never expected to be, but I think that, you know, I felt that's something that I've dealt with at least since qualifying for the trials was like this big imposter syndrome where it's like, I'm some tiny guy who went to a D3 school who, I mean, frankly, my college PRs are not that fast. I mean, most of the guys who I run with in Tucson, they have faster college PRs in the 5K and 10K. So, you know, I think I always am like, well, like, do I really belong here? But then, you know, since interacting with other pro runners, running the race, interacting with people before and afterhand, you know, I really feel like I've really dispelled a lot of that imposter syndrome. And I think something else I've learned too is that, you know, I kind of didn't know what I wanted to do next after the trials. But I think that, I mean, even now, like I'm still running, you know, 80, 90 mile weeks just because I really love running. So I think that I definitely am going to probably keep running fairly seriously, maybe even make another run at the next trials, unless USATF decides to drop the standard off a cliff to like 211 or something. But as long as they don't do that, I'll probably try and make another run at it. But I'm also excited for the chance as well to potentially run in some quote unquote weirder races. My college track PRs are really slow, so I'm hoping to maybe just get like a 5K PR potentially. I'm also looking at doing ultras for the first time because I've never done those. So I'm looking at exploring all different kinds of running and like truly, you know, experiencing that joy of trying new things and being able to do that.
Let me ask you a question about competing at the trials. You know, when we all go out, amateur, professional, but I'm talking from an amateur perspective. When we go out to events, there are people that run 15-minute miles, and there are people that are at those events that are running 5-6-minute miles. When you're at the trials, how does the competition differ, and how does it feel to you as being a participant in an event like that?
Wait, you cut out at the very end there. Could you repeat the end of that question?
Yeah, how does it feel to you in an event like that, in the trials, where you might not be as fast as the guys way out in front? What does it do for you? What's the feeling?
It's kind of an interesting feeling because I mean, I know that like going into the race, like even if I raced my absolute best race, I still probably, you know, barring some extreme miracle, wouldn't really have a chance to make the team. So I think it was almost kind of like weird because most races I'd run, at least in college and in high school even, I had a lot of pressure because I needed to perform for my team. I was hoping to win, but like when that pressure to win is kind of off, it's almost kind of nice because I was able to just say, okay, my goal is to run my smartest and best race that I can. I'm going to use all of these incredibly talented people and run with them and, you know, gauge off of them and really be here and enjoy that full experience. But it was almost like I just got to run for like the love and joy of running and the experience as opposed to like beating myself up, over a performance. You know, I'm not like a top guy. It's not like I'm one of the NAS elite guys who, if they didn't make the team, you know, they're devastated because they thought they had a legitimate chance. Where I'm kind of like, I mean, even if I didn't have the kind of day that I'd hoped, I think that, I mean, place-wise, I did better than I thought I was going to. But it was still realistically, like, for me going in, you know, whether I finished 4th or 240th, this result is the same, and that's that I don't make the U.S. Olympic team. So it was kind of,
yeah. The same boat.
And the thing is, what's crazy is I knew a lot of guys in my place, you know, who were also already, you know, like the last 10 guys who qualified or that realm. And some of them are getting super nervous and like beating themselves up over this. And it's like, just enjoy this experience. Take time to truly like celebrate what you've achieved and like, don't beat yourself up over the experience because, I mean, I don't know if they didn't see what I saw, but like they also like, because some of them were like, well, if we don't finish in the top 100, I'm going to be really mad. And I'm like, but it's a cool personal goal, but like at the same time, yes, you can have that to strive for, but also if you don't get it, you know, if you legitimately tried your best at this point, it really doesn't matter.
Great perspective.
Yeah.
That's a healthy dose of reality. I really like that.
How much water do you drink in a day? You're drinking a lot of water.
Oh, a ton, yeah. I also made the mistake yesterday. I ran at about 3 p.m. I ran 13 miles, and I cramped up the last mile. So I have now, especially if it's supposed to be in the 90s and maybe even hundreds this weekend, I'm getting back into my just constantly drinking water.
Good for you. Good move.
So with the new abnormal, you know, with the virus and stuff, do you feel like your training has been impacted at all?
I think it has been kind of primarily in 2 ways. So first off, I mean, I no longer have gym access, so having to do that all from home. And then I think the second way really has been I'd signed up for a couple of races, you know, one for the end of May, one for the end of June, and they both are canceled. So now it's kind of like, well, what am I training for next? You know, I don't really know, because I don't know when things are going to quote unquote reopen. I don't know when races are going to be held again. So I think that, I mean, my mileage is still fairly decent. It's just the auxiliary stuff is off a little bit, and I'm not doing specific quote unquote event training, because my first event was actually going to be Reno Tahoe Odyssey. I was actually going to join an elite team that drew people from Arizona, California, Nevada. I was hoping to set the course record. So I was going to be part of that, but that's canceled. And then I was actually hoping to run a 100-miler in June. So that's also canceled. So now it's just kind of like, I'm just doing quote unquote general training. And, you know, I think I'll probably peak, you know, last week I ran about 80 miles this week. So it's going to be maybe like 90. I'll probably peak around 100, but I mean, I'm just not doing a specific tempo or track workouts, because I frankly don't know what I'm going to be doing next. So just building a good base. Yeah.
I got to ask you, marathon to 100, did we do anything in between?
I mean, I've done a lot of really long runs before.
But in like a race, like an event.
Oh, I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to doing a 50-miler or something. But one of my friends actually, who I ran with in college, was planning on signing up for this race, and I was like, and it's like, it was just in California, so it was a short flight, and I'm like, sure, let's try it.
I love that. I love that you're just up for anything.
Yeah, it's great. Well, hey, listen, Adam, I want to thank you so much for your time today. We really appreciate learning about you. We're proud to have you as a Tucsonan. Thank you for taking care of our night skies. That's really important. We don't need that. We don't need all the light neon pollution in our city. So thank you for doing that too. Thank you for being a part of our running community.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And I appreciate the chance to be on, and best of luck, and stay safe. So thank you again.
Thank you.